Great Adi Shankaracharya says in his Bhajagovindam, Kurute Ganga Sagara Gamanam Vrata Paripalanam Atava Dhanam Gnana Vihinha Sarvamatena Bhajatina Muktim Janma Shatena. He says that Gnana Vihinha Sarvamatena Bhajatina Muktim Janma Shatena. Even if you take 100 lives, if you don't have the wisdom, then you will not reach destiny at all. Whatever the puja, praskara, vrata, whatever you do, but without wisdom, if you proceed in life, then you will never ever reach destiny. Gnana vihinaha sarvamatena bhajatina muktim janma shatena. Understand, wisdom is highest. Children, now we'll start straight away exercise 10.2 quadratic equation chapter. Okay, so first question says of exercise 10.2, find the roots of the following quadratic equations by factorization. Find the roots of the following quadratic equations by factorization. Okay, so there are 1 2 3 4 5 equations have been given here. So what we need to do is to find the roots. Okay, so what do you mean by roots? Roots is nothing but find the value of x. If it is in polynomial, it is also called as zeros, so that if you substitute that x value, the whole equation becomes 0. Therefore it is called zeros in polynomial. In quadratic equation, the value of x is called roots. If you are asked to find the roots of the quadratic equation, then you are asked to find the value of x. Or if it is there y here, y. Or if it is there something else variable, you have to find the value of that. Okay. So now to find the value of roots mean, in this case, to find the value of x. Quadratic equation will always have two values. Okay, two solutions. Always remember. So quadratic equation will have how many roots? Two roots. This is very important. Now you came to know what do you mean by root. Now find the roots of the following quadratic equation. Quadratic equation means it is always in the form ax square plus bx plus c equals 0. Ax square plus bx plus c equals 0. This is the standard form of quadratic equation. If any equation is in this form, ax square plus bx plus c equals 0. Okay, so this is a standard form of quadratic equation. Quadratic equation means this is highly important. Ax square, where a is never equals to 0. If a becomes 0, then this whole factor ax square becomes 0. If ax square becomes 0, then what remains? Bx plus c equals 0 remains. Okay, so bx plus c is a linear equation, not the quadratic equation, and thus it is highly important that a is not equals to 0. This x square factor must exist. Then it becomes quadratic equation. Quadratic equation is always in the form ax square plus bx plus c. Ax square plus bx plus c. This is the standard form of quadratic equation. Okay, so did you understand? So you came to know what do you mean by roots and what do you mean by quadratic equation. Quadratic equation is always in the which form? Ax square plus bx plus c. This is standard form of quadratic equation. And then one more thing here, you see that by factorization it is said. So how are you going to solve this? How are you going to find the roots of this quadratic equation? By factorization method. There are various methods by which you can find the roots of the quadratic equation. One of the methods is factorization. So other methods are there, by completing the square, by using the formula. Okay, so these are the three methods by which you can find the roots of the quadratic equation. Now we are applying this factorization. I'll teach you what is factorization, how the factorization is done, so that very easily we can find the roots of the quadratic equation. Understand, children? Now the true meaning of what is this root, what is quadratic equation, and what is factorization not explained, I'll explain. So when I'll solve this problem. So you came to know what you meant by roots and quadratic equation. Now we'll take up directly the first problem. Okay, the first question is, see here, x square minus 3x minus 10 equals 0. Okay. So here there is a difference between quadratic equation and quadratic polynomial. Quadratic polynomial 0, it is not equated with 0. For example, if I write only this thing, x square minus 3x minus 10, x square minus 3x minus 10, then it is quadratic polynomial. If this polynomial is equated with 0, if this polynomial x square minus 3x minus 10 is equated with 0, then it becomes quadratic equation. Quadratic equation is always equals to 0. The quadratic polynomial is equated with 0, and thus it becomes quadratic equation. Did you understand that? Quadratic equation is equals 0. This standard form ax square plus bx plus c should be equated with 0. Okay, thus it is quadratic equation. Now we have to find the roots of the quadratic equation. Okay. Roots means what? You have to find the value of x. How you have to find? By factorization. Okay. So now step by step, we need to understand. By finding the roots by the factorization method, to find the roots by factorization method, first step you need to follow is this. What is this actually? If you compare ax square, this is ax square, and second term in place of plus bx, here minus 3x is there, and in place of c minus 10 is there. The first step in the quadratic to find the roots of the quadratic equation by factorization method is to multiply ax square with constant c. This is the first step you need to remember. So here I have written some tabular columns so that you will understand later why I have written this. Okay. So if you know this very easily, so you can bring the roots of this particular quadratic equation. Okay. The first step is to multiply ax square with the constant. Ax square with the constant. Okay. Now what is ax square here? Before that, it's highly important you are writing in the standard form. X square should be first, then x, and then constant. Understand? So standard form, in the standard form you have to write one thing. And if it is minus, the x square is minus, then you have to make it plus by multiplying the throughout with minus. Understand? Now this is the standard form. Multiplying x square with 10. That is first step, ax square with 10. Here a is nothing but 1, because how many x squares are there? 1 x square is there. Okay. First step. What is this? X square into what kind of 10 it is? Minus 10. Minus 10. X square minus 10. X square into minus 10 is minus 10x square. Minus 10x square. Remember, this is one thing. Okay. First step. So in factorization method, to find the roots of the quadratic equation, the first step is multiplying ax square with the constant c. Here ax square is nothing but x square, constant is nothing but minus 10. So after multiplying you will get this. Okay. Now we need to find the factor for this. That's why factorization. We need to find the factor for this such that we will get the middle term. Which is the middle term here? This is middle term. Which is the middle term? Middle term is minus 3x. Understand? First step, you are multiplying ax square with c, so that you will get, after multiplying you got minus 10x square you got. Okay. For this you have to find the factors. That factor after addition or subtraction should be minus 3x. Such a factor you have to find. Understand? This is highly important. Okay. Now, for what are your finding factors? This is, we have multiplied this, right? Minus 10x square we have got after multiplying ax square with c. Here ax square is nothing but x square and c is nothing but minus 10. Now what is the factor for, multiplicative factor for this minus? How you got minus? plus into minus is minus, multiply. How you got minus? Plus into minus is minus, or minus into plus is minus, one thing. Understand? Second, what is the factor for x square? Factor for x square is x and x. Factor for x square is x and x, because x into x is x square. Minus into plus or plus into minus is minus. Now what is the factor for 10? So 10 factor you find in such a way, many factors are there, so that the result should be, after addition or subtraction, the result should be minus 3x, this middle term. Okay, the factor should result in the middle term. Okay, many number of factors are there for 10. We'll see what is that. Okay, 10 and 1, 10 into 1 is equals to 10, right? This is the factor, but after addition or subtraction you will not get minus 3. Okay, don't want this one. Next, 5 and 2, 5 and 2. 5 and 2, if you observe, 5 minus 2, 3 you will get. 5 minus 2, 3 you will get. Understand? But now the question is, you will get this. This is a factor we have to choose. Okay? Because 5 into 2 is 10. 10 into 1 is also 10, but we don't want that, because after addition or subtraction we will not go get this 3. But 5 and 2 are the factors. After addition or subtraction we are going to get 3, because 5 minus 2 is 3. But what kind of 3 is there here? Minus 3 is there. Okay, since minus 3 is there, so you need to select the bigger term. This is what written here. Come here. After multiplying ax square with constant, if you get minus here, you got the minus. Okay, remember. And if the middle term is also minus, then what you need to do is, for bigger term keep minus, and for smaller term plus. For smaller term plus. Understand? Understand properly. After multiplying ax square with c, see that what kind of sign, what is the sign factor? Sign factor here is minus sign factor. Okay, if it is minus, keep that. How you get minus? Always minus into plus is minus, or plus into minus is minus. Understand? Here, if minus comes, after multiplying ax square with c, if minus comes, then two terms what you are taking will be 1 plus and 1 minus always. 1 plus and 1 minus. When ax square is multiplied with c and the number what you are getting is the term, if it is minus, then the factor should be one factor should be plus and another factor should be minus. Okay. And for which factor you are giving plus and minus depends on what is the sign factor of middle term. What is sign factor of middle term here? Sign factor of middle term is minus here. Therefore, put minus for the bigger number and plus for smaller number. Here minus 5. Understand? Now you see that the factor for this plus 2x minus 5x plus 2x. First we took factor for minus, then factor for x and factor for 10. 2 plus 2x minus 5x. Okay, minus 5x plus 2x is equals to what? Middle term. Is equals to middle term. Minus 5x plus 2x is nothing but minus. This is what factorization. Find such a factor so that you can split the middle term. It can also be called splitting of middle term. Factorization method is nothing but splitting of middle term. Understand? Minus 5x plus 2x is minus 3x. Did you understand? Thus, x square, in place of this minus 3x, we are going to write minus 5x plus 2x. Then rest is same. All this we did only to split the middle term. Did you understand? Once again, this once if you understand, then factorization method you will have no problem at all. One thing you remember, what you need to remember is multiply ax square. That means this x square term with the constant. First thing, x square term with the constant. And see that what kind of sign factor you will get. You have got minus. If you get minus sign factor, then the two factors what you are getting, one should be plus, one should be minus. This is very much clear. If ax square into c is minus, then the two factors, one plus and one minus will be there. But for which term you are giving plus and which term you are giving minus depends on the middle term. Which is the middle term? Middle term sign factor is minus. If it is minus, then put minus for the big term and plus for the small term. Suppose if ax square into c is again minus, sign factor is minus, and if the middle term is plus, then what you are going to do is minus. How you got? You got by minus into plus is minus, or minus into plus is minus. Okay, 1 plus 1 minus should come. If it is plus, then put plus for the big term and minus for the small term. Understand? Now, if ax square plus c is plus ax square plus c, plus multiplication, ax square into c, ax square into c is plus, then how you get plus? You get plus into plus is plus, or minus into minus is plus. Okay, so depending on middle term, if middle term is minus, then both the factor you have to take minus itself, because minus into minus becomes plus, minus into minus becomes plus. Why you chosen minus into minus as a plus? Why not plus into plus as a plus? Because middle factor is minus. If middle factor is minus, then ax square into c is plus, then both the factors what you are choosing is minus and minus. Therefore, minus into minus is plus. If ax square into c is plus and middle term is also plus, then both the factors are plus. Understand properly? If ax square into c is minus and middle term is minus, then 1 minus 1 plus, the minus becomes 1. Big term takes minus and small term takes plus. If ax square into c is minus, then 1 plus 1 minus comes. Seeing the middle term, if middle term is plus, then put big term plus, then small term minus. If ax square into c is plus, and depending on the sign factor of middle term, if it is minus, then both take minus. If ax square into c is plus, then depending on middle term, if middle term is plus, then put both plus. So this is very important. Note this. Okay, so that very easily you can keep solving the problems. Now we have done this. After doing this, first step ax square into c, then middle term we have found the factors, then split into 2. So after making into two groups, you have to find the common factor. Here the common factor is x. Here x into x is there, here x is there. So 1x you can remove. So what remaining is x minus 5. Because here x into x, here 1x removed, so that x minus 5 plus. Here what is the common? 2, and 10 is nothing but 5 into 2. So that 2 you can take it as a common. Once you take 2 as a common, what remains is x minus 5 equals 0. Okay. Now you see that x minus 5 is a common factor. After removing the common factor, what is remaining here outside? X plus 2 equals 0. Okay. Now this x minus 5 and into x plus 2 equate with 0, so that x minus 5 equals 0 and x plus 2 equals 0. You have to find the value of x. Find the value of roots means find the value of x. So that transfer this x minus 5 other side. How you transfer? By adding the same number both sides by changing its sign. That is minus 5 becomes plus 5. How minus 5 become plus 5? I'll show you once. Equals 0. What you want is the value of x. When you want the value of x, you don't want minus 5. You are going to transfer other side. How you transfer? Add both side. Add both side plus 5. So that x minus 5 plus 5 is equal to 0 plus 5. Minus 5 plus 5 gets cancelled up. Remaining is 0 plus 5 is 5 itself. So directly written. Understand? When you are transferring, just to change the sign. That's all. If it is plus, make it minus. If it is minus, make it plus. Now, x plus 2 equals 0. So, you want the value of x. So, you don't want plus 2. Transfer other side. Plus 2 becomes what? Minus 2. X is equals to minus 2. What is asked? Find the roots of the following quadratic equation. What are the roots? Roots are 5 and minus 2. 5 and minus 2. For roots are 5 and minus 2 for which equation? X square minus 3x minus 10 equals 0. Okay. What is the root? Root, you can also write roots of x square minus 3x minus 10 is equals to 0 is 5 and minus 2. 5 and minus 2. Did you understand, children? Now we will enter into the next problem. Okay. Now we will see the second problem, children. It's same since it is factorization method. The first step you are going to do is multiply ax square with the constant c. Okay. Here ax square is nothing but 2x square. Constant c is nothing but minus 6. So first step, what is that? Ax square into c. Ax square into c. What is that ax square? 2x square into minus 6. 2x square into minus 6 is nothing but minus 12x square. Minus 12x square. We have got this. What is that? Ax square into c is nothing but minus 12x square. Minus 12x square. Since minus has come after multiplying ax square with the constant c, then sign factor is 1 plus and 1 minus. No doubt. Because after multiplying ax square, that is 2x square with minus 6, you have got the result minus 12x square. Since this ax square into c, we have got minus. So 1 plus 1 minus. After multiplying 1 plus with 1 minus, you will get minus. So minus into plus or plus into minus. Now for factor for x square, as usual, x and x, because x into x is x square. Now we have to find factor for 12. Okay. Factor for 12. To find the factor for 12, you need to know which is the middle term. Middle term is plus x. Middle term is plus x. How many x are there? Only one x is there. Okay. Understand? So you need to find such a factor for this 12 so that you should get only one x. Understand? Many factors are there for 12. Okay. 12. What? 12 into 1 factor. Then 6 and 2. 6 and 2. Why? Because 6 into is 12. But 12, if you add or subtract 12 and 1, you will not get 1. Because 12 plus 1 is 13. 12 minus 1 is 11 and you are not getting 1. Second factor, 6 and 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. 6 plus 2 is 8. Therefore, you are not getting 1. Okay, find one. Two more factors are there. 4 and 3. 4, 3 times 12. Now you can see that 4 minus 3 is 1. Therefore, these two factors are selected. Which are the factors selected? 4 and 3, depending on middle term. Now, middle term is plus. If middle term, if a into ax square into c is minus and middle term is plus, what I said, the bigger term should be plus and the smaller term should be minus. So, in the bigger term plus place, I will take 4 and minus place, I will take 3, and thus this is nothing but plus 4x and minus 3x plus 4x and minus 3x is nothing but middle term plus x. Okay, one thing. And plus 4x into minus 3x is nothing but minus 12x square. Minus into plus into minus, minus 4 into 3, 12, x into x, x square. After multiplying this factor, you will get minus 12x square. And after adding or subtracting, you are getting plus 4x. Therefore, these two are the factors. Once you get these factors, depending on the middle term, we can split the middle term. Understand? So what is this? 2x square plus, don't write this plus x now. In place of that, write plus 4x minus 3x. Then rest is as usual. Only middle term you have got concerned. Minus 6 equals 0. Understand? What we did to find the roots by factorization, first ax square into c. After writing ax square into c, we have checked whether it is plus or minus. So ax square into c is minus. Ax square into c is minus, which means two factors should be in such a way that one factor is minus and one factor is plus. So which factor is plus and which factor is minus depends on the middle term. If middle term is minus, the big factor is plus and the small factor is minus. If middle term is plus, then big factor is plus and the small factor is minus. Based on that, we have taken here plus. Therefore, for bigger number, we have given plus. Understand? Now split into, make two groups. Common factor, you see that 2 and 4 are the factors again. Therefore, which is common in 2 and 4? 2 is common. And x square and x, which is common? X is common. So after taking common, what is remaining? 2x square, 2x we have taken. So what is remaining? X, because 2x into x is 2x square. Plus here in the 4x, 2x we have removed. So what is remaining? X. X we have removed, and in the 4, 2 into 2 into x. 4x is nothing but 2 into x. Therefore 2 and x we have removed, remaining only 2. Understand? Now this is finished. Here minus. Since you have taken minus as a common factor, be careful. Plus becomes minus, minus becomes plus. If you take minus as a common factor, so inside if it is plus, then becomes minus. Minus becomes plus. I have taken common. Okay. So here minus I have taken as a common. Then what else I can take as a common? Here 3 and 6 are there. 3 and 6 are the multiples of each other. That is, 6 can be written as 3 into 2. 3 into 2. So therefore, if you take 3, minus 3 outside, here minus 3 outside taken, what is remaining? Plus x. Here, I said since you have taken minus as a common, make it plus. What is there here? Here, 3 into 2, 3 is taken outside, so 2 remains, equals 0. Did you understand this? So if I elaborate that, it was there minus 3x minus 6 equals 0 was there, okay? Now see here, minus 3x minus, this can be written as 3 into 2 equals 0. This is I am explaining, understand? What you have taken is minus as a common you have taken. Then 3, because what is common here? Minus as a common, 3 as a common. So minus 3, since minus 3 exists in both the case, so you have taken common, then what is remaining? X. Since minus you have taken, it becomes plus 2 equals 0. That's what remaining. Did you understand? So this is what? So explained here. Now see properly. Plus x plus 2 and x plus 2 remains common. Remove that common factor. After taking x plus 2 and x plus 2 as a common, what is remaining? 2x minus 3 remains, and equate this with 0. X plus 2 equate with 0 and 2x minus 3 equate with 0. What do you want? To find the value of x, you have to find the roots. So plus 2 transfer other side, so plus becomes minus, thus x is equals to minus 2. Now 2x minus 3 is there, first transfer minus 3 other side, so that 2x is equals to 3 becomes, minus 3 becomes plus 3. Now you want only x and not 2x, therefore what you have to do? Divide both the sides by 2's, thus you will get x is equals to 3 by 2. Or you can say that transferred this 2 from numerator to denominator. And thus we have got the roots. What is that? What is the root of the equation 2x square plus x minus 6 equals 0? What is the root? Minus 2 and 3 by 2. Okay. Roots of equation. What kind of equation? Quadratic equation. 2x square plus x minus 6 equals 0 are minus 2 and 3 by 2. Understand, children? Understand? So go through properly. Now we'll enter into the third question. Now we'll see the third question, which is root 2 x square plus 7x plus 5 root 2 equals 0. This is the third quadratic equation. Okay. So don't worry about this root 2. So root 2, if it is there, no need to shiver like root 2 is there. How we can find the factors? It's very easy. First you keep on following the steps. It comes very easily. Question is root 2 x square plus 7x plus 5 root 2 equals 0. What is the first step to be followed? First, before that, whether it is in the standard form, say yes. X square should be first, it is there. Then x, it is there. Then constant. It is the standard form. Okay. The standard form of quadratic equation, it is that. And according to the standard form, it is there. The first step to find the roots in the factorization method is to multiply ax square with c. Ax square into c. What is ax square here? Root 2 into x square. And what is this c? C is nothing but 5 root 2. Okay. This to be multiplied first. Ax square with c. Ax square into c. C is nothing but constant. So after multiplying, you see that root 2 into root 2 is 2, 5 x square. 2 into 5 is 10 x square. After multiplying root 2 x square with 5 root 2, what you got is 10 x square. How? Because root 2 cannot be multiplied with 5. 5 keep as it is. Root 2 into root 2 is 2. Okay. And x square as it is, x square, no x, nothing is there. So x square as it is. So root 2 x square into 5 root 2 is 10 x square. Root 2 into root 2 is 2. 5 as it is, x square as it is. And then 2 into 5 is 10, and thus root 2 x square into 5 root 2 is 10 x square. What do you got? 10 x square. What kind of 10 x square it is? Plus 10 x square. Nothing is there. It is plus 10 x square. Since minus sign is not given here, so what kind of 10 x square it is? Plus 10 x square. It is plus 10 x square. If it is plus, then I said after multiplying sign factor, how you get plus? Either minus into minus is plus or plus into plus is plus. So now what kind of factors you are finding and what kind of sign factor you are finding depends on the middle term. What is the middle term? Middle term is 7x. Middle term is 7x. What kind of 7x it is? Plus 7x. Understand? Since it is plus 7x and here plus 10x square, since it is plus 10x square, that is after multiplying x square with the constant c, you have got the sign factor plus. And depending on the middle factor which is also plus, then what kind of two terms you have to take? Plus itself. Therefore, sign factor is plus and plus. And x square factor is x and x. Now 10, factor for 10 depends on this middle term. That is what is there? This constant here, this coefficient 7 is there. Understand? Many factors you will get from 10. Understand? 10 into 1, many factors you will get. Of which factor you have to use? You have to choose 5 under 2. Because 5 into 2 is 10 and 5 plus 2 is 7. Therefore, these two factors are chosen. 5 and 2. Now see, plus 5x plus 2x. Plus into plus, plus 5 2 times 10x into x square. After multiplying 5x square with 2x square, you will get plus 10x square. After adding 5x plus 2x, you will get plus 7x. Understand? Therefore, these are the factors. Factorized this 10x square. After factorizing, we have to, after factorized, we have to split the middle term. Which is the middle term? 7x. Okay. Now, write down root 2x square. Don't write plus 7x. Factor you have find plus 5x plus 2x plus 5x plus 2x. Middle term is split. We are not writing this 7x in place of 7x. We are writing this one 5x plus 2x, and then 5 root 2 equals 0. Understand? Now make into two groups. These two groups. Okay. Before making two groups, one basic thing you should know, that is, what is this 2? 2 can be written as, since root 2 is there, 2 can be written as root 2 into root 2. Root 2 into root 2 is nothing but root 4, and square root of 4 is again 2 itself. Therefore, this 2 can be written as root 2 into root 2. What is this root 2 into root 2? Is nothing but 2 itself. So this common sense you should know, you should have, so that this particular problem can be solved very easily. Now, which is the common factor here? The common factor is only x. Therefore, remove x outside. What remains? Root 2 plus root 2x plus 5 remains. Understand? Now here plus. This 2 is nothing but root 2 into root 2. This 2 you change it into root 2 into root 2x. Root 2 into root 2x plus 5 root 2 equals 0. Here, to take the common factor, I have changed this 2 as root 2 into root 2. Understand? Again, one more step. X root 2x plus 5 plus, here root 2 and root 2 are common. Take root 2 outside. Therefore, what is remaining is root 2x plus 5 equals 0. One thing you always remember, that what you will get here in the first group, what common factor you will get, the same should be there here. Understand? So while solving number of problems, you will come to know that. Now see here, these two are common factor. Root 2x plus 5 is the common factor. Then x plus root 2 remaining, equate with 0. Now equate individually with 0. Root 2x plus 5 is equals to 0. X plus root 2 equals 0. Now what do you want to find? Roots of the quadratic equation. Root means value of x. Okay, first root 2x keep as it is and transfer this plus 5. It becomes root 2x is equals to minus 5. Now you want, since you want only value of x, transfer root 2 also, so that it becomes 5 minus 5 root 2. This is 1. Then here x is equals to, transfer this minus plus root 2 other side becomes minus root 2. So what are the roots of this particular quadratic equation? Roots of root 2x square plus 5x plus 5 root 2 is equals to 0, or minus 5 root 2 and minus root 2. These are the factors. These are the roots. These are the roots of this quadratic equation. Which quadratic equation? Root 2x square plus 7x plus 5 root 2 equals 0. Did you understand, children? Now we will enter into the fourth question. Now we will see the fourth question, which is 2x square minus x plus 1 by 8 equals 0. Okay, 2x square minus x plus 1 by 8 equals 0, which is nothing but in order it is. Understand? You can equate with standard quadratic equation. Okay, it is like standard quadratic equation form. 2x square, this is very important to write in order. First x square, then x, then constant. Now you can see that, so in place of c constant, 1 by 8 is a fraction is there. We don't want fraction, we want a whole number. Understand? Or else we can do, but it becomes a bit late and difficult, so that we will make this as a whole number. So what is there in the denominator? 8 is there. So we don't want this 8. How you remove this? By multiplying throughout by 8. By multiplying throughout by 8. That means full equation will multiply by 8. So that 8 into 2x square minus x plus 1 by 8. Because when you are multiplying, you have to multiply both sides. But if you multiply 8 in RHS, because RHS is equal to 0, so it becomes 0 itself. 0 into 8 is 0 itself. Therefore, here written 0 itself. Okay. Now multiply this 8. 8 2 times 16x square. 8 into minus x is minus 8x plus 8 by 8. 8 by 8 gets cancelled up. Now 16x square minus 8x plus 1 equals 0. This equation we have changed into in this way. 16x square minus 8x plus 1 equals 0, because we cannot do with this 1 by 8, which is the constant is 1 by 8, which is fraction. We have changed that into whole number. How we have changed? By multiplying throughout by what is there in the denominator. What is there in the denominator? 8 is there in the denominator. If you multiply throughout that, easily you can cancel 8 and 8 and you will get this. By taking LCM also you can do this. Now, to find the roots by factorization method. So which is the first step we have to follow? The first step is multiply ax square with c. What is ax square here? 16x square. 16x square. And multiply that 16x square with c. c is nothing but 1. 16x square into 1 is 16x square itself. What kind of 16x square here? Plus or minus? Here both are plus, so plus 16x square. Understand? Now after multiplying that, you have to take factor, sine factor, x square factor and 16. For all these things you have to take factor. Since it is after multiplying what? Plus, you will have the factor minus minus or plus plus. Because minus into minus plus, plus into plus plus. So this sine factor depends on now what kind of term is the middle term. What kind of term is the middle term? Minus 8x. Minus 8x is the middle term. Okay. So since minus 8x is here, sine factor should be here, middle term is minus. Therefore, here you have to take both the side minus, because minus into minus becomes plus. Why you have chosen minus into minus? Because as a plus. Why you have not chosen plus into plus as a plus? Because of middle term. Middle term is minus. Since middle term is minus, you cannot afford to choose plus and plus. You have to choose the two factors minus itself. That's what he has said here. If ax square into c is plus and middle term is minus, then you choose both minus minus. So the minus into minus is plus, minus minus is minus. Minus into minus is plus, but minus and minus is minus itself. Got it? And this we are taking minus, both the factors minus. Now xx, for x square factor x. Now for 16. 16 choose such a factor, such two factors, so that it becomes 8. Many factors are available. 6 once, 8 2 times, like that. But which factor you are going to choose? Think. I will choose 4. 4 times 16. 4 times 16. And 4 plus 4 is 8. Therefore, I have chosen this. Understand? Now 4 and 4. See that. Minus 4x minus 4x. These are the factors of plus 16x square. How? Minus into minus plus, 4 into 4, 16, x into x, x square. Okay? Minus 4x into minus 4x is plus 16x square. But minus 4x and not into, and minus 4x is minus 8x. Minus 4x into minus 4x is plus 16x square. Minus 4x and minus 4x is minus 8x. Such factors we have chosen so that it should become the middle term. Understand? This becomes the middle term. So that we can split this middle term. Understand? The next step is 16x square. We don't want now. Minus 8x. We will write as minus 4x plus 1 equal to 0. Now make it 2 group. Which are the common? 16, 4. 4 times 16. Therefore, 16 is nothing but 4 into 4. The 4 is available. Okay. Take 4 and x as a common so that 4x remains here. X into x, x square, 4 into 4, 16. Understand? Plus, since you have removed 4x here, what is remaining? 1 itself. Because 4x common you have taken. Now, which are the common available here? Minus only and nothing else. Since you have taken minus as a common, minus 1 as a common, so what remains is 4x minus 1. What is there here? The same should come here. That's all. Understand? Is equals to 0. Now, common factor 4x minus 1, 4x minus 1. So, 4x minus 1 taken common factor. The remaining is again 4x minus 1 equals 0. Now equate individual term with 0 so that 4x minus 1 equals 0 and 4x minus 1 equals 0. We don't want this minus 1 this side, so we will transfer because we have to find the root of the quadratic equation. 4x is equals to minus 1 becomes plus 1. And we don't want 4x, we want only x. Therefore, transfer this 4 from numerator to denominator and thus it becomes 1 by 4. The same thing happens here because here also 4x minus 1. How I did? The same thing here also, that is x is equals to 1 by 4. Both the roots are 1 by 4, 1 by 4 itself. Thus, what are you going to say this? You say that roots of 2x square minus x plus 1 by 8 is equals to 0 are what? 1 by 4 and 1 by 4. Understand? We'll enter into the fifth and last problem of this first main. Okay. Now we'll see the fifth question of this first main, which is last question of this main. So which says that 100x square minus 20x plus 1 equals 0. This is the quadratic equation given. Okay. So here we have to find, as you know, that roots of the quadratic equation. How? By factorization method. To find the roots of the quadratic equation by factorization method, the first step is as usual, multiply ax square with c. And before that you see that whether it is written in the standard form or not. It is written in the standard form, that is x square first, then x and then constant. Okay. So after writing that, you multiply ax square with c. Here what is ax square? Ax square is nothing but 100 plus 100 x square into 1. That is nothing but 100 x square itself. This is ax square into c. Understand? What kind of ax square into c? It is plus, because minus is not there. Plus 100x square it is. Since after multiplying ax square with the c, we have got plus, then what is the sign factor? Sign factor is minus into minus is equals to plus or plus into plus. So to choose that, you need to see what is middle term. Middle term is minus 20x. Middle term is minus 20x. So since in the middle term it is minus, so you cannot choose plus. You have to choose minus itself. Understand? The two factor what you are finding should be minus. Why? Because your middle term is minus. So don't choose. See? Plus you will get by minus into minus or by plus into plus. But you are not choosing plus into plus. It is because of middle term. Middle term sign is minus. Therefore, you are choosing minus and minus. For x square, what is the factor? Two factors, x and x. Now for 100, you find the two factors. Many factors are available for 100. 100 into 100 and 1, 50 and 2, 25 and 4, 20 and 5. All these factors are available. But will that become equals to 20? No. So you have to choose two such factors that becomes 20. Which one? 10 and 10. 10 plus 10 is 20. So choose this. Okay. Now 10 and 10 are the two factors we have chosen. Understand? Take note. Minus 10x minus 10x. Okay. Factor for everything we have one factor. Two factors. Minus this plus Factor for plus is minus and minus. Factor for x square is x and x. Factor for 100 is 10 and 10. And thus minus 10x minus 10x. Now minus into minus plus 10 into 10, 100, x into x, x square. That is minus 10x into minus 10x is 100x square. And minus 10 and minus 10 is minus 20. Into and make the difference. Minus 10x into minus 10x is equals to plus 100x square. Minus 10x and minus 10x is equals to minus 20x. Okay, we have split the middle term. Understand? Now once we split the middle term, now apply here. 100 x square, middle term don't want, minus 10x minus 10x. Because minus 20 is nothing but minus 10x minus 10x. This we have decided based on multiplying this ax square with the constant. Okay, plus 1 equals 0. Now make into two group. Find the common factor. Common factor is nothing but x and 100 is nothing but 10 into 10. Therefore, 10x if you remove outside, then 10x if you take as a common factor, then this 100 is nothing but 10 into 10. So 10 into 10, 100, and x square is nothing but x into x. Minus, since this 10x you have taken as a common, take it as 1. Now here minus is there, minus. And what is there to take common? Nothing is there. Okay. So nothing is there, take 1. Thus 10x minus 1. What you got here, the same you should get here. And you will get it. Is equals to 0. Now take common factor here. 10x minus 1. Now what is remaining? 10x minus 1 is. After removing this, what is there? 10x and minus 1 itself take. Equate with 0. Understand? Now equate individual term with the 0. Thus 10x minus 1 equals 0 and 10x minus 1 equals 0. That itself. 10x minus 1 transfer other side, it becomes plus 1 and x is equals to, don't want 10x, you want only x. So transfer the 10, it becomes 1 by 10. The same here, therefore this also x is equals to 1 by 10. So what are the two roots you have got from this quadratic equation? That is 1 by 10 and 1 by 10. 1 by 10 and 1 by 10 are the roots of quadratic equation 100 square, 100 x square minus 20x plus 1 equals 0. These are the roots. Did you understand, children? It's a very easy, and please note the point, this tabular column, remember and keep on recalling that. And while solving the problem, you just keep this. Okay. So, and this two things, ax square into c, multiplying ax square with the constant term, that you remember, and the sign factor and what kind of factors you are finding, that should be the based on middle term. Okay. Please note this point. If you know this, then all these problems based on the factorization very easily you can solve. Okay. So hope you understood, and in the next video we are going to enter into the second main of exercise 10.2. Bye bye.